Hello, it's Wednesday and we have another amazing woman coming on to do Unbreakable Voices. So I'm just waiting for her to come on. I'm in the salon and I've got the door open because it's bloody boiling. I'm not moaning about the weather in the UK, but it's really warm. And so I'm hoping the dog that lives a few doors down is not going to start barking through this video, this live, hopefully, fingers crossed. So just waiting for Katie to come on, and then we will begin. I am actually boiling. Oh my God, it's so warm. But how is everybody? Okay, let's just see if we can get Katie to come on. I don't like this. I should have like an intro music or something, sort of like playing whilst we're sort of waiting for the person to join. Yeah, I definitely need like an intro in music, or have like, oh, here we go. She's requested. Okay, 2 seconds. Accept. Okay, hold on. Try it again. It's gonna work. Yay! Hi!
Okay.
Yeah, you?
Yeah, lovely to see you.
And you? I'm bloody boiling. I don't know about you. I'm so warm.
I'm very lucky I've got air conditioning in my bedroom.
Oh
So
no.
I'm talking to my bedroom and I'm still boiling hot, so
Oh gosh.
I've got no chance.
Amazing. Right, so for anyone who is new to me or don't know my story, I'll just do a quick introduction before we dive in with you, Katie. So I am Sharon. I am the Cancer Mum cheerleader, and I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in my eye 4 years ago. After I had the treatment and everything, I realised life's too short and I wanted to change my path. So I finished my job in finance, started my own business in nails, been doing that for 3 years, but now I want to mentor mums who have gone through cancer and on the other side of it. And that's what Unbreakable Voices is. It's giving women a platform and a chance to share their story and share awareness, because, you know, everyone's story is completely different. And a story could resonate with one person, and if it does, amazing.
Yep.
So we have today the lovely Katie on. So Katie, if you could tell me a bit about yourself and what life looks like before your diagnosis.
Well, I live with my husband and I've got 2 children and 3 stepchildren. So life was quite crazy, really. Very much based doing things with the kids, and I'm a hairdresser, so it was just kind of working and yeah, just doing nice things. I've got a really close-knit family as well, so would see lots of them. Had fairly good health, I would say. I wouldn't say I've ever been overly healthy, but as in kind of, you know, I've never been a gym fanatic or but I've always sort of, you know, tried to be fairly healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, until after that.
So how did you find out about your cancer?
Well, I'd actually been in hospital because I've also got ulcerative colitis.
What's that?
So, which I was only diagnosed with about 7 years ago.
Okay.
So I just actually come out of hospital. We were, I think COVID was just starting. So I'd been in a hospital with my colitis on a ward. So you can imagine, you come out of hospital absolutely zonked. And I just remember coming home and just thinking, I just need a nice hot bath. So I, in front of the mirror, which is so weird because I never tend to do this. Everything's always in a rush. I took my top off over my head and didn't have a bra on. And it was only as I lifted up my arms, I thought, I've never seen that before. And all the skin was puckered on my left boob. And straight away, as soon as I saw the puckering, I knew that is not, you know, a good sign. So, and I think it was on a Friday night, which is typical. You can't then get through to the doctors till the Monday.
No.
So I was fretting all weekend, because then as I touched it, I realised that it was, the lump was the majority of my boobs, because I've always had quite small boobs. And then I realised that the one boob felt totally different to the other. So on the Monday, rang the doctors, and they were really good actually. They did the really quick appointment. So went with my husband, but he couldn't come in with me because of COVID. And as soon as the breast nurse saw and the lump, and obviously sort of had a bit of a examination, she sent me straight down for biopsies and things. So I think I knew that for all that was being done, it didn't look too good. And then I remember coming up to the waiting room, and they said, "Oh, is your husband around?"
Oh, no.
"Oh, do you want to call him in?" So as we both walked into the room, there were the breast nurse and a couple of other nurses as well. And so I kind of knew, really. Yeah, and then that was when she said, we can't be 100% sure until the biopsies come back, but from what we've seen and in my with my knowledge, I'm 99% sure that it is breast cancer. And stupidly, cancer is still a word that I really struggle to say. Even saying it today, I never say that word. Quite hard for me to say. I always say, "Oh, the silly lump," or "see," but I find it really hard to actually sort of say that word. So yeah, just went home, and that 2 weeks was of waiting for the results was just horrific. Absolutely, just horrendous. It's like torture, mental torture, when you're then trying to stay upbeat for everyone and keep yourself going and keep yourself sane and be happy for children. And it was just, I think that was the worst part of anything, is the waiting.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I with anything else.
Yeah. So what stage, when you then received the results, what stage did they say you were at?
So I had stage 3 invasive lobular cancer. So was then, I had 12 cycles of chemo and then radiotherapy afterwards as well. But sorry, previous to that I had a mastectomy as well. So I had a mastectomy straight away, because I think we were just getting into COVID and no one knew, what was ahead, what was going to happen. So yeah, mastectomy straight away, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, actually. I had this, you think of something being amputated from your body, that it's going to be, and actually, I mean, you're right, the same day. It's crazy, really.
Yeah, I would have thought you would sort of have to sort of stay in a few days at least.
When they said the same day, I thought, no, they must have got it wrong. There's no way I could be at home.
Oh, wow.
Like the same day, and with drains and things. And
anyway, so the minute, so describe the moment then you hear the words then that you got cancer. Like, what went through your mind?
I was shocked, and I wasn't shocked because I knew, for me to have been at the breast hospital the majority of the day, I thought they're not going to have spent all this time.
Yeah.
So in a way I was shocked. Sorry, in a way I wasn't shocked, but in another way, we haven't got any cancer. We hadn't had any cancer in our family before. Never had, anything to didn't know anything about oncology really. So yeah, it was quite a shock. Just everything goes through your head, and I didn't know anything. I hadn't
No.
lost anyone. I was very lucky that I hadn't lost anyone at that time close to me through cancer. So it was all very new, and I could just remember being in the room with them all, and it felt quite claustrophobic. I just wanted to be out on my own, kind of processing the information really.
That's the thing. I think it's so surreal. It's like you see it happening to other people, but then to have it happen to yourself, it's like watching a movie
Yeah,
or something, isn't it? It's like it just yeah, it just takes a while to sort of really sink in. It's like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
Worst part for me was my mum was at home looking after the children, and I just remember thinking of everyone. My mum was just the one that I just was dreading, and I knew that she was here, so that I'd really have to tell her when I got back. And that was just the most, being a mum myself, I just put myself in the position of, if that was my daughter having to tell me that information, my heart just felt for my mum really having to come and tell her.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, like, how did you cope with telling like your family and friends?
With close family, I think I'm quite open with texts, but I'm not very good at talking. I'm one of those, if something upsets me and I'm going to cry, we're getting ugly tears. And there's no holding back. If I'm going to cry, it's gonna. So I did do quite a lot via text, really, just because I couldn't face having to tell people. I think my husband rang a few people, and then I did go quite public on Facebook, just because I'm a hairdresser. I still live in the same area where I've grown up, so I know so many people.
Yeah.
And the thought of going out and people thinking, oh, Kate doesn't look herself, or oh, Kate didn't want to, I hated the thought of people, sort of kind of not gossiping, but no
Yeah.
information. I just wanted people to know exactly what was going on, and from the horse's mouth, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how did you feel when you sort of, because you have like being a mum, you feel like you have to stay strong because
Yeah.
you have the children and they may or may not know. And how did that sort of impact you having to sort of feel that you had to feel strong still for everyone around you?
Um, I suppose, as far as feeling strong, I think in a selfish way, I was doing it for myself as well, because I was just so scared that if I wasn't strong, what the alternative would be, I suppose. So I just thought, I didn't feel like I needed to stay strong, because I thought the moment I, fall a little bit, it's all going to come crashing down.
Yeah.
And I think with me as well, I see humour. I've got the most warped sense of humour. So I see humour in everything. I've
Yeah.
always had one of those really inappropriate sense of humour. So even on my worst, darkest days, when I looked horrific, no eyelashes, no hair, I would, send funny pictures of me doing funny things and looking horrendous, just to make me smile, I suppose, and make other people see the humour in it.
But that's good. I like that because like I think sometimes you have to find the light in the darkest days because
Yeah.
otherwise it's just going to consume you. So yeah, I love that approach. So yeah, so you're a mum. Everyone's experience when it comes to telling children is very different, and everyone has different sort of thoughts on it. But what are your thoughts? And if you have, or if you did tell your children, how did you go about doing it?
Well, because we were in lockdown, so everyone was at home.
Mm,
We don't live in a huge house, so that the children weren't in a different wing, or so I just didn't want, especially for my teenager, I didn't want her to hear bits and bobs. So I was very open with her, and as she was 14 and quite a mature 14-year-old, she dealt with it really really well. And then my son, he was only 5 and he's autistic. So he didn't really understand what was, he would come out with the most inappropriate comments. But you've got to love an autistic mind. So he would just say, oh, if you die, do you think Daddy will get a new wife? Will I have a new money? Just totally those sort of things that you don't know whether to laugh or cry. But now, whether if we weren't in lockdown, whether I would have kept a little bit more information back, maybe. But no, I just felt as we were all in the house together, I wanted my daughter to know exactly what was going on and not feel like she was being, shut away from anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think there's no right or wrong sort of answer
No.
to it. It's whatever sort of then like suits that person and suits that child, that they have to just sort of go with what they feel in their gut. So what treatment did you have then? Sorry, you had chemotherapy and radio.
Cycles of chemotherapy and then radiotherapy. So the chemo should have been every 3 weeks, but halfway through I was so poorly, so I really suffered with mouth ulcers, to the point when I couldn't eat, drink. So there wasn't an inch in my mouth that didn't have, mouth ulcers like the size of your fingernail, and all down my esophagus as well.
Gosh.
So I had quite a lot of hospital stays, ended up on a morphine driver, which is like an electronic device you have, and it drip feeds you constant morphine because I was in so much pain. Lost a lot of weight. So I then ended up doing the last part of my chemo was a lower dose but weekly, and that worked really well for me, rather than a huge dose every 3 months, and that really worked well.
Okay. And then did you have the radiotherapy straight after chemo?
And then I had a little bit of a break, I think probably 6 weeks maybe.
Right.
Because I was whether it would be that long normally, but I was so poorly with my mouth. And then, to be honest, for me, radiotherapy was an absolute doddle compared to chemotherapy. Radiotherapy, I was just quite tired. But my skin was really good, because I know a lot of people suffer with burns and all sort of gastric problems. But no, I just felt really tired with it. It just sort of zapped me of my energy, especially it's about 3 weeks after you finish radiotherapy. It's like a knock-on accumulative effect. But no, that was a doddle I could do, and I've actually had radiotherapy a couple of times more since then as well.
Okay. So after the treatment, how long do you think like the aftermath effects sort of like lasted for?
It's really hard to say, because I still have so many. So I sort of suffer with neuropathy in my feet. So my feet are constantly, the nerves are constantly kind of twitching, which I don't notice so early in the day, but at night it's absolute pain.
Is that because you're on your feet then from being a hairdresser as well?
No, I don't work anymore. No, it's just because the chemotherapy damages the nerve endings. A lot of people get it in their hands as well. Mine's just in my feet. So when I'm laid in bed in the evening, quite often we'll think, what's that noise? Because all you can hear is this like scratching noise. Well, my toes are they're physically sort of moving all the time.
Oh my gosh.
It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, I'll just look at my feet and my little toes are just, So obviously it sounds quite trivial, but it's really annoying. I suppose it's a bit like restless leg syndrome. It's really annoying. And I suppose really for me, because I'm on ongoing treatment, so it's hard to say whether some of those symptoms would have gone had I not started all the other treatments that I'm on. So after I think I came to the end of my treatment, had a PET scan just to double check that everything had sort of worked, and that was when they found that the cancer had spread to my bones. So that was quite a shock, really. That was quite a big deal to hear that. So I'm on different treatments. I've been on my current treatment for I think coming up to about a year,
Right.
which I'm starting to struggle a little bit with the side effects, and I've had a small amount of progression. So I'm just waiting for results back for another medication to try. So
what sort of support have you had then going through your treatment?
do you mean sort of mentally?
Yeah, yeah, like yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I changed my consultant halfway through my chemo. I had a consultant that I just really didn't gel with, which all came to a little bit of a head when I had an appointment with him, and I'd never wanted to look too far ahead. I'd just like to face kind of where we are now. And he was so abrupt, and he just suddenly said, "Oh, would you like to know your prognosis time-wise?" And it just came
Wow.
out of nowhere, and it just was horrendous, absolutely awful. So I mean, I don't normally suffer particularly with anxiety and panic attacks, and it was like being hit with a brick wall. So I just had this huge panic attack, ran to the hospital crying, which isn't me at all. I'm not that kind of person at all, and just broke down in my husband's car. It was just
That's horrendous.
yeah, it was quite horrendous. So at that point, I started with a new consultant who is, I call him God. He is amazing. I can't imagine how I would have done all this without him. He's just the most amazing man. I feel so blessed to have him as my consultant. So he's fab. And then since my secondary diagnosis, I have loads of support from the secondary nurses at my oncology unit that's just been a game changer.
I think it
Just
really does. It does make a difference. Like the people who are treating you, like you're going through something so hard, and if you've got someone who's just not supportive, it just makes things 10 times harder.
yeah, definitely. These secondary nurses, I just can't tell you how much they've changed. I just feel so looked after because I
Mm.
know I'll ring them up, and anything I say to them, they don't sort of say, I don't know, I don't. Whatever I say, they're bam, 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 we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I'm going to be in contact with them. I'm going to sort it, and I feel so looked after them. It's
Yeah,
made a difference to my mental health. It really has.
absolutely. Because you just don't feel alone
No,
then. They're like with
it's
you.
really important to have a team around you that you trust, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So where are you at now then? So you're still on
Yep.
treatment.
So I'll always be on treatment. So my cancer has spread to it's just in my bones. So it's in a couple of ribs, in my spine, in my pelvis. But I'm with all the different medications that I take sort of slow release painkillers. So with all the team, all the sort of nurses all help me with all my pain and things. So I feel really blessed actually. I feel,
Mm.
although some days it feels a bit like I've got it hanging over my head, I feel like I'm in a really good place. I mean, energy wise, it is quite draining mentally and physically. And of course, with all medications, they've got lots of side effects, which are often more of a problem than the issue itself, really.
Yeah.
But no, generally, I just feel really blessed to have, amazing family and friends, and an amazing, medical team. It
Yeah.
makes such a difference.
Um, I mean, you're incredible to sort of still to have the mindset that you have, I think is something that is hard to sort of get and then to stay in. But I think when you're a mum it's so crucial, because you just have to sort of be so
Yeah,
stubborn and just be like, oh, well, I'm going to fight this. I'm
yeah.
just going to
I
carry
don't
on
live with
fighting.
any illusion. There are definitely times when I absolutely lose my shit. And there's times when my husband said, just let it all out, have a good cry. And then he said afterwards, crikey, I've never heard someone cry like that in my life. It was like an animal. So I think every so often I will absolutely have and it feels like you've had a weight lifted off your shoulders, and I will have a really big cry. And then I'm fine. I can crack on then again for another couple of months. And
That's
and
the thing. I think
I do
crying helps.
everything I can that makes me happy. So
Yeah,
I do
absolutely.
as much as possible of the things that make me happy. And it might be stupid things like burning my favourite candle,
Mm.
an aromatherapy bath, just silly little things that I know I absolutely love. And it's all the little things that make the difference in life, isn't it?
Absolutely. So how do you think, like, you're still going through it, but how do you think cancer has changed you as a woman and as a mum?
Um, I think from a negative point of view, I think I can be a little bit hard, um, because kind of through the cancer community on Instagram and Facebook, I've lost a few friends on there. So I think when I see on there what some people are going through, and then I see other people moaning about the most trivial things, I can be a bit unsympathetic. So that in a negative way, but in a positive way, I just feel very much from the mindset of you just never know what's going on in someone's life. You just never know. I put this makeup on and put on this kind of facade, and you just never know what's going on in someone's life. So I think in some ways I'm a lot more tolerant and I'm a lot more laid back with things, because I just think you just never know what someone's going
No,
through, behind the scenes.
no. And like you say it like on the negative side, but I was like the same. And I don't know if I would say though that was negative, because you'll see, yeah, people moaning about something really just ridiculous, and it's like, don't moan at, like, if you change, do something about it
Yeah,
then. If it's in your power to change it,
that's
then
what
do it.
really, yeah, that's what really annoys when someone's complaining about something, and it's very easy. Like, for instance, my husband drives me nuts because he'll say, I've got a terrible headache. Oh, have you taken any ibuprofen? No. You could, that headache could go away. All you've got to do is take ibuprofen. Things like that just make me absolutely mad.
I think that might be a man thing, because my husband does that as well. It drives me mad. It's very frustrating. So what does life look like for you now then, with the treatment? So you said you're not working.
No, no. So I have kind of good and bad days, really. Um, my body does feel a little bit buggered, to be honest.
Mm.
Uh, Lots of aches and pains. Sometimes I'll have to have a little sleep in the afternoon because I don't sleep particularly well. Um, but I feel I very much live in sort of where we are now.
Mm.
Um, I'm constantly organising nice things, having nice things on the horizon to look forward to. Um, yeah, it's strange. I suppose I do bury my head in the sand.
Mm.
Um, I don't. I I feel quite lucky that I don't feel like I've got cancer on my mind all the time. And I suppose that because I have lots of distractions, so I do, have lots of nice things to look forward to, and eat nice food, and just silly little things just to perk me up every day, really. It's
But
funny,
that's the
like,
thing.
I really look forward to my 11 o'clock coffee and just silly things like that make me happy.
But if it makes you happy, then yeah, why would you not look forward to it?
Yeah,
It definitely sort of having cancer is just crap, but it really does make you see life for what it is, and it really does make you appreciate
Yeah,
little things like the 11 o'clock coffee. Like,
yeah.
it really makes you like grateful
Oh,
for things.
definitely. Yeah. And
Mm.
every, even like the seasons throughout the year, I really look forward to each new season and everyone's birthdays and just nice things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for anyone who is watching or listening and they're in the thick of their cancer battle, what advice would you give them?
Something I've definitely learned is until you've got all the information in front of you, if you've recently been diagnosed, until you've got all the information, try not to fret, because you're worrying about something that you don't know anything about, you don't know. So that's what I find, because even now I have PET scans every 3 months, so it's almost a constant cycle of having a PET scan, waiting for the results, waiting for the next PET scan. So I just tell myself all the time, there's no point giving it any more energy and any more of your taking any of your sparkle away
No.
when you don't know what the results are. It's just crazy to waste life and waste good times on worrying.
Yeah.
And yeah, just make sure you've got a really good team. If you think I'm not keen on that consultant, or I don't like that person, change. It's really easy to change your consultant, and I didn't realize how many people would do it.
I'd say
Get
that's
someone that
really good advice.
you
I
feel
bet
really
there's people
confident.
out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet there's people out there who don't like who's, sort of their doctors, and yeah, to know that you can change,
yeah,
probably help quite a few people.
definitely. And it's just look for the positives and everything, and do whatever you need to do to get you through every day. I mean, when I was right in the middle of my chemo, I would literally take every day, break it down. And then when it got to the evening, and I would have an aromatherapy bath, candles on, spa music, and I would just think, thank God I've done another day.
Yeah,
This is another day towards, better health.
absolutely. And I think that's what you have to do. Just be grateful for every day and just stay positive,
Yeah,
and then just actually enjoy life and live life.
yeah.
I think you've got the best mindset. Absolutely.
Oh, well, life flies by so quickly, especially when you've got
Mm.
children, you're rushing around after them, before you know it. I'm 47 tomorrow, and I can't believe
Oh,
I remember my
yeah.
mum being 47. I can't believe I'm going to be 47.
Don't look
Ah,
47 as well.
thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you, Darren.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. You're
Oh,
so inspiring, and
thank
I'm
you.
so glad that you came on. I know you were nervous, but you done really well.
Oh, thank you. It's been amazing. I'm really glad I did it. Thank you.
I'm so glad you came on, and I'm sure that your story has helped at least one person. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And have an
Yeah.
amazing birthday tomorrow
Oh,
as well.
thank you. Happy birthday to you for last week.
Thank you. It seems like forever ago now. Another
Oh,
birthday.
thank you
But
so much, Sharon.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. So that was Katie. I mean, she is so inspiring, isn't she? Like, oh my gosh. But if you have a story that you would like to share with me and you would like to come on Unbreakable Voices, then please message me. I would love to give you a platform for you to tell your story as well. But enjoy the sunshine if you're in the UK. And yeah, we have our next one in a couple of weeks. So until then, bye.